Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex, and today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on July 9th, 2025, just 2 days ago. This paper introduces a new framework that can identify the correct molecular structure from its light signature, almost 97% of the time, if it gets 20 guesses. The paper is titled DiffSpectra, Molecular Structure Elucidation from Spectra Using Diffusion Models. And as we'll see, the way it combines different data types is key to its success. It tackles the challenge of figuring out a molecule's 3D shape using a diffusion model. Alright, so this first figure gives us a great overview of the whole system. At the top, we see the core idea. It's a diffusion process. The model starts with a random cloud of points, and, guided by the molecule's light signature, it gradually refines this noise into a precise 3D structure. This relies on two key components, a SpecFormer that reads the spectra, and a Diffusion Molecule Transformer that builds the molecule. This builder is SE3 equivariant, which just means it understands 3D space, ensuring the final structure is physically realistic, no matter its orientation. Now, for that whole process to work, the model needs to understand the light signature it's given. And that's where this other key component comes in, the SpecFormer. It takes multiple types of spectral data, like IR, Raman, and UV-Vis spectra, and fuses them into one powerful signal. The really clever part is how it's trained beforehand. It uses mask patch reconstruction, essentially a fill-in-the-blanks game, to learn the patterns in the spectra, and contrastive learning, which teaches it to match the right signature to the right molecule. Okay. So after all that sophisticated pre-training, how well does the whole system actually perform? This table gives us the numbers, comparing DiffSpectra to other models on the QM9S dataset. It's split into 2D metrics, like whether the generated molecules are chemically valid and novel, and 3D metrics. And this is where it gets really interesting. On the 3D side, the model achieves the best scores for bond angles and dihedrals. A dihedral, by the way, measures the twist around a chemical bond. These incredibly low error scores show it's not just guessing structures, it's building them with very high geometric accuracy. Building on those impressive numbers, this next figure gives us a visual sense of what's happening. On the far left, you see the actual, ground truth molecular structures. The other columns show what DiffSpectra predicted. The key takeaway is in the first column. Using all the spectral data with the pre-trained SpecFormer, the model gets it right almost every time, as you can see from the green check marks. But if you look at the other columns, where the model only gets one type of spectrum, the results are much, much worse. This really drives home how important combining multiple types of data is for accuracy. So this chart quantifies that improvement we just saw. It plots what's called accuracy at K, which is basically the chance of finding the correct structure if the model gets K guesses. As you can see, for all versions of the model, the accuracy climbs steadily as you allow more samples. The top line, using all spectra and the pre-trained SpecFormer, is the clear winner. While its top one accuracy is about 16%, if you let it generate 20 possibilities, its accuracy shoots up to an incredible 96.86%. This sampling strategy is key. Okay, so that sampling strategy is clearly effective. But another core design choice is how the model handles 3D geometry. This table explores that, comparing different strategies for what's called SE3 equivariance. As we mentioned, this is the property that ensures the model's predictions are consistent no matter how the molecule is rotated. The results show that a model-based approach, where this geometric understanding is built directly into the architecture, achieves the highest top one accuracy. This outperforms data-based methods, even when using data augmentation, which involves showing the model many rotated examples during training. So, getting that SE3 equivariant architecture right is a huge piece of the puzzle. When you put it all together, the multimodal data fusion from the SpecFormer and this powerful sampling strategy, DiffSpectra really marks a significant step forward. The model doesn't just guess structures, it achieves a high Tanimoto similarity, which is a common way to measure how alike two molecules are based on their chemical features. It also reconstructs those features with over 96% accuracy. This work truly bridges the gap between spectral data and generating accurate 3D molecules. That's all the time we have for this week's AI Research Roundup. Thanks for tuning in.